So today we're gonna do a retwist on Jordan, and we're gonna shampoo him and pretty much get him in the game with a level of moisture. All right, so Jordan, tell me about your regimen. What do you do? How does it work?
I kind of just let my dreads do their thing. I kind of retwisted. I want to say every couple weeks or so. Try to stay hydrated as much as I can. But I have been experiencing a little bit of thinning in the back, more of the back region. But yeah, that's about it.
What were you using to retwist with before? Just something generic?
Yeah, I believe so. Just some lock-in gel.
Okay. Well, what I want you to have right now is I want you to have something a little more moisturizing, something a little more healthy for the hair, being that we are embarking on something that's going to kind of change the dynamic of what you're working with. So I'm going to get you to the shampoo bowl, and when I'm going to show you pretty much how moisture pretty much helps what you have working with.
Yeah.
So let's get you to the shampoo bowl and we can get you started.
All right.
All right. So my first shampoo today is the Oat Protein and Henna. I like this shampoo because not only does it clarify and deeply cleanse the hair, it also adds a level of moisture that we need for this type of service that we're working with. Retwisting locks and having dreadlocks can also be an issue if the hair is not clean. With this first step, we're gonna make sure that the hair gets back to where we need it to be, the healthy phase. For the second shampoo, I choose to use the Peppermint and Aloe Anti-Itch Shampoo because during this consultation, I noticed that his scalp was dry. For my third shampoo, I choose the Honey Cream Moisture Retention because it's going to start to restore a moisture balance back to the hair. Finally, we're conditioning with the Rosemary and Mint Super Moisturizing Conditioner. I use this because it's going to add moisture back to the scalp after the whole shampooing process. For deeper penetration with the conditioner, you want to sit your client under the dryer for about 15-20 minutes with a plastic cap. Have you noticed that you had a level of breakage back here?
I did.
Do you know what happened?
I mean, I do wear my hair in ponytails quite often. I think maybe that could be pulling it, or...
What about tying it up at night?
I do not often.
You do not? So when you do tie it up, do you feel like that's too tight?
Yes, at times, yes.
At times, tying up the hair, too tight ponytails or styles can cause issues that could lead to breakage. So making sure that you have a healthy level of moisture is really important. That's why the shampoo and the conditioner was very imperative to the beginning of our process. So today we're using the Almond Avocado Twist and Set Setting Lotion as well as the Honey Curl Forming Custard to do our retwist. I'm going to use the Twist and Set to get his lock started back in the back where he missed the two, and then we're going to use the Forming Custard as we do the remaining of the retwist going forward. pretty much we got started with the retwisting, and he has locks on both sides. But right here, I have to reestablish the locks that are there. He still has a level of budding right here, which I can work into a lock without any issues. But going forward, I have to pay attention to the lock to part ratio at the bottom row. So this one is going to be a palm roll, but my following lock is going to be a coil, being that he lost the lock right there because of tension or other issues that he had going on. Making sure that the part to lock ratio is established, which means I have to match all the locks that are going across here to make sure that once this lock grows out, it's equal to everything else that he has going on. So this is where I will incorporate my 1-inch barber comb to get the coil back into that process. I like using the comb during my retwisting process because it helps define my parts. Once I take my comb and indent in that area, you see I cleaned it up just a little bit better, and so now when I do my palm roll, it's a clean, natural parting. And what I want you guys to also pay attention to is once I put the product in his hair, I didn't need too much more. You don't want to cause a buildup. You don't want to use too much because that can cause issues in the hair as well. If you think about it, this is the oldest hair on his head. This is his newest hair. So if I put too much product on top of the bleaching, on top of the coloring and everything else that he's going to do in the future, that can cause issues. You don't want that issue when retwisting or taking care of the locks. Don't use many clips. I've done probably 15 to 20 locks, but I only have 3 clips here. But when they go into the dryer, that can cause issues of heating up. The client will be uncomfortable. Clip placement is really important, all of the above. So you want to make sure that your clip placement and your clip understanding is important too. If the palm roll is not correct and the clip placement is off, once I clip my lock down, you can see now it's going to unravel here, which is going to start to bulging in this area. So clip placement is what I was speaking about before. Once I palm roll this completely down, you want to pretty much clip right here in this area. So I'll use this clip to hold that to make sure that everything is secure in that access. I like to use a twist and set because it's a training solution. I want to train the hair to understand what we're working with. In locking, you want to hold on to a lot of the dead shedded hairs, which 100 hairs a day are shedded out into the locks, which means that's 2,800 hairs shedded out monthly. Training this hair, keeping this hair hydrated and moisturized is the best outcome for a healthy set of locks with no breakage and no limitations. And finally, I started using the honey custard because it was a softer solution. No flakage, no breakage, no dryness, nothing. It's just something that's going to help the hair progress into what you're working with as far as locking. Now that we're coming to an end, this is my last lock that I'm going to have to retwist. Once we finish, I'm going to take my twist and set and I'm going to saturate the hair again, just making sure that the hair is getting trained properly. And after, I'm going to put on my Sand-X strip just to hold down the edges while he's under the dryer. Now, he's fresh from the dryer, and I'm going to take his clips out and I'm going to basically hydrate his scalp as well. Normally I tell my clients to come every 3 weeks for retwisting, keeping the style and the health of the hair intact. I also instruct my clients to put oil twice a week to the scalp and to the hair, especially if they're working out. Sometimes I ask them to actually put just a little bit more, but in Jordan's case, twice a week works just fine. Making sure they tie their hair up every night with a satin scarf and live your best life.